Welcome back to another episode of Graps and Yaps. This is your go-to podcast for everything pro wrestling. We are going to recap what's happened inside and outside of the ring from the last week. And whether you are a lifelong fan just like us or you are a victim of the wrestling algorithm, we thank you for being here and we hope you enjoy. I'm Phil Fresh. Phil Fresh. My God, am I having a stroke? I don't know what's going on with my speech today. I'm Phil Fresh, one half of the show, here again with the boy Tony Free. Tony Free, a little bit different to the way we normally start this, but I just had a thought, and I would love to get your thoughts on this, okay? Do you think that we are no longer going to have famous bald people?
No longer have famous bald people? Why? What's happening?
Yes or no, and I'll tell you my reasoning. Well, what's your answer to that?
We will always have famous bald people.
You think? Okay. My thing is that people with social media, people are getting far more self-conscious, and with the technology that we have to, get hair transplants and plugs, I think whoever gets famous from now on, they'll just resort to that. You know what I mean? I don't think people are comfortable being bald anymore. And I'm going to bring this into wrestling now, not so this isn't completely out of the blue, but I was thinking about who was the last bald wrestler. It might just be Carl Anderson, right?
In WWE, it's a good question. Can't think of anyone off the top of my head, but like broadly in real life, there's plenty of famous bald people who happily choose to stay or be bald.
Who?
Jason Statham. Who
but
else we got?
he's been doing this for a while though. I mean, new generation, bald. Who is it?
I feel like one of those.
He's stumped.
No, I feel like one of those marquee white boys, like Channing Tatum or Chet. Chet
is Channing Tatum bald, or is he? Oh, Chet Hanks.
I think he's gone very close. Yeah,
how
Chet
can
Hanks.
I forget my boy Chet?
It's always those marquee white boys that will always rock being bald to give them that extra bad boy image.
Is Channing Tatum bald, or has he just got a shaved head? I'm gonna have to look this up now.
It's he might not be completely bald, but I feel like he's trending in that way.
Yeah, okay. Hey, look, the Chet Hanks pool is a great shout, but think about it wrestling wise. I guess Ricochet. You know what I mean? Currently
very bold.
I just can't think of, outside of that. I just don't see it happening.
Bobby Lashley doesn't have an inch of hair on him.
Oh, but he's had that since he got in. He is one of the he's a true bald man. He committed to it when he came in.
We haven't had a hair versus hair match in a long time, so maybe when we bring those back, we'll have some old wrestlers again.
Now I'm trying to think.
That's how they kind of got born.
Who is a current wrestler that needs, who's getting close to? Oh, who is going to get there eventually? Seth Rollins. I'm sorry, Seth Rollins. That hairline is looking a little bit weak on the front line.
Yeah, but the rest of it's still pretty thick and luscious.
I think
he's okay for now. But maybe a JD McDonough would actually, him going bald would be great.
Why?
Or even, I actually wouldn't mind seeing Grayson Waller going bald.
Okay, now you're just taking the piss, TF.
Austin Theory is the next guy to go bald.
I don't hate that. That's probably your best one out of all the names you just rattled off there. That's the only one that I'll accept. The other two I'm not too sure about. But I appreciate your thoughts on this. TF, how are you, my friend?
I'm good. Just fresh off the New South Wales State of Origin win last night. So it's been a very good week so far. Plenty of FIFA World Cup action too. Got a day off for the moment, so it's a bit weird not having any soccer on today. So back into it tomorrow for the round of 16.
That's right. Yeah, bit going on. Last night was a great night for all New South Welshmen, you and I included, and maybe a few of the listeners on today's episode. And speaking of, later on, We brought it back. Queensland or New South Wales? Put it up on our social media. We asked for your guys' thoughts and opinions. You guys gave it to us. We'll be reading it out later on. If you are not aware of what I'm talking about, make sure you're following us at Graps and Yaps. But let's talk about the week that was, man. Last Saturday. I was in attendance. You were watching on your laptop, PWA King of the Metro. A little bit going on there. We had a returning Ricky South taking out the King of the Metro in what was a really fun match. Will Keatis cracking open the Golden Esky, finally defeating Big Fudge for the PWA heavyweight title. Any thoughts on those two things, Tony Free?
Yeah, I was surprised to see Ricky South coming back. So, good to see that he's back in the fold and, getting a championship opportunity. I think he's going for that heavyweight championship straight off the bat. So that's very interesting. And yeah, the match for the heavyweight championship between, with Fudge, getting the win, and it was a brutal match. And then, Keatis comes out, cashes in that Esky. I was not even, thinking about that Esky to begin with. So, yeah, it was good entertainment there.
Dude, it feels like he's been carrying that for so long that like I just forgot that was what it does. Like, and I think that's just a good job on just like, just leading the witness a little bit there. But when that music came out, it was a huge pop in the crowd. And shout out to Big Fudge, man. Yeah, he took a huge spot to the outside, landed on some chairs, and it was a big gash on the side of his body. Big Fudge, thank you for your service. But
Did you see he was dapping up I don't know if he's former or current South CEO Shane Richardson, who's in the front row there.
I did not know who that was. I don't think he's the current one. I think it's pretty sure it's Blake Sully as a Bunnies man myself. But when that happened, I assumed that was Big Fudge's dad.
No, it was Shane Richardson. See, that's what I didn't realize either. But I was listening and watching on YouTube. The commentary alluded to it straight away. That's Shane Richardson. So,
what a random
little spot. I don't know how he is, I don't know what the connection is there, but PWA making moves in the business world by the looks of things.
I tell you what, man, I know they've got like a little thing going on with the West Tigers. If there's something going with the Rabbitohs, come on now, get Graps and Yaps involved. You know where to find me. The show overall was solid. A lot of funny moments during the King of the Metro match. But the biggest news happened right at the end of the show. And this will get us into the outside the ring news. The Dropouts, Scott Green and the Tuckmen, announced that they are leaving Australia to head overseas. Tony Free, you are rocking the Dropouts merch. Look, I'll be honest, like this, you and I both could see this happening a mile away. Even I guess maybe to, last Saturday when it went down. But man, still kind of sad to see it go, but very excited for what's to come for those two guys.
Yeah, 100%. I think, when we saw that they were getting that WWE tryout earlier in the year, and then, there was a few appearances across Ring of Honor when AEW was out here, and, a few other big spots on the World Series Wrestling tour that was recently out here as well, where they were just, all their entrances were just going viral every time they happened. So you could see that it was just, building to something happening, something like this where they would announce that they would leave Australia. And I think I was actually surprised that it took until now for them to announce it. I kind of, had that feeling, a while back now when they had that PWA dropped out show. I thought that was going to be the farewell. They stuck around for a couple more months. I'm sure they were sorting out some logistical things to get them across to the US and live and work there and whatnot. So, exciting times ahead. And I'm sure we'll see them popping up on a TV screen before the end of the year.
Well, that's the thing, right? Like, you mentioned the WWE try. You also mentioned Ring of Honor and their involvement in that too. Like, they didn't explicitly say where they would be showing up. I think either will be a great one. But if I had a preference, if I had any say in it, I would love to see the Dropouts in NXT. What do you reckon?
Oh, 100%. I think that's where they end up. It'd be interesting to see, what the Def Rebel side of things will look like in terms of their entrance.
Oh no.
They're obviously going to have a name change and things like that. So, yeah, it's going to be an interesting watch, but yeah, it's going to be exciting at the same time.
That's right. So, Dropouts, thank you very much. We've been lucky enough to talk to both of them here on the show. So, nothing but the best. And yeah, continue to make us proud, you boys. Continuing on, man, this was kind of out of nowhere. Sheamus rejecting his WWE contract extension, which means he'll see out the rest of his current contract. And it's looking like he is headed out of the WWE. Did you see this happening on your bingo card?
No, I didn't, but I think the story here is that he was approached to take a pay cut, and he, obviously declined that, and yeah, he's on his way out. So, um, I mean, fair enough. He hasn't really been doing a lot or much at all recently. So, I think it's maybe time for him to go elsewhere and, try something new, find some new opponents, and hopefully, breathe some new life into, the back end of his career.
Man, it's yeah, that's how I see it too. Obviously, it's shocking seeing that headline off the bat, but when you start to think about, he signed to WWE 2006, debuted in 2009. He's kind of done everything that you can except maybe win the Intercontinental Championship, but he's done so much in those 20 to 17 years in that company in WWE that like just imagine what it's going to look like outside of that, whether it's AEW, whether it's Ring of Honor, or, just an indie run, or maybe he goes to Japan. Like any of those options are really exciting. Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't say exactly when this current contract runs out. Unless, do you know anything, Tony Free? I couldn't find anything.
I think from like from what I've read, he signed a 5-year deal in 2023. So that was going to take him to 2028. And with this now happening, with him being approached to take a pay cut, he's actually essentially leaving earlier. So there's, obviously been some sort of change there where he's effectively gone now. So he's still under contract at the moment, but he's not going to be, you wouldn't see him pop up on TV at all.
Yeah.
I don't know what happens with the Celtic Warrior workouts. I don't know if that was his or if it's property of WWE. That's going to be
Yeah.
interesting as well. So we won't see that anymore, I don't think. But yeah, it sounds like, yeah, although he's still contracted, he's actually effectively gone. So yeah, another guy who we might see, popping up somewhere else due to these pay cut negotiations, because we just saw the New Day leave 2 months ago under the same circumstances. So there might be a few more, if this continues.
Yeah, it seems to be a little bit of a trend going with, I guess, the older wrestlers. They're not really old, but Sheamus and Kofi, but they've been, they've had long tenures in their career. Maybe this might just be, a sign of the times where they're, now with TKO involved, they'll be shifting some things around and, hopefully using that money for better and, or I guess, generating, new talent, producing new talent. But yeah, man, shocker. We'll see what happens with Sheamus. Excited to see where he ends up. And then the last bit of outside the ring news that happened recently. I guess not really a surprise because we have seen how everything has been going down online, but I think it's official now. Jey Uso's wife files for divorce, reported by TMZ. The way I saw people talking about this on the internet, I said two things: have a shower and touch some grass.
Yeah, we don't need to talk too much about it, do we?
Dude, the comments, people talking about it, I'm like, you look like you have never been in a relationship. So let's calm down a little bit there. But yeah, obviously, we've been seeing, I think we've spoken about it with the Jada Parker riddle too, right?
Yeah, it was just funny that I was looking. I think it might have been just after the news broke, and I looked at Jey Uso's Instagram story, and I think it was all in capitals. It was just, "I'm a grown ass adult."
Oh yeah, yeah. That's my goat, man. I do not care. I do not care how you feel about this, man. That is my goat. I was ready, and he delivered for that Instagram story. So, yeah, look, yeah, I agree. Not much to talk about here. Let's talk about what's happened inside the ring. And man, oh man, CM Hogan, he is back. and has taken the title off of Sami Zayn. A lot of noise on this one, this decision and how the story played out. But I for one enjoyed that match and excited to see where we go from here, Tony Free.
Well, I mean, the only time where we'll get two back-to-back episodes where we're talking about a WWE Undisputed Championship changing hands.
Damn,
This is definitely
yeah.
the shortest reign that we've seen, at least in the last 5 years. 9 days
9 days.
was all that Sami Zayn had. One defense, and he lost it. So, um, yeah, the night sets up. With when they make their arrivals, and we have that. Um, that confrontation between Sammy and Cody, where Gunther then comes in, attacks Cody, slams Cody's head, in between that car door. So Cody has to go to go to a local medical facility, which rules him out of action. And yeah, I guess to just set it up, hometown in Chicago. It was always going to be CM Punk, I guess. And I guess reading now, like into the backstory of things. Apparently, this was always the plan, to head into SummerSlam and do this with CM Punk returning at that moment. So it wasn't like they've just called an audible out of nowhere. Like, this was always the plan. So yeah, I'm all for it now, because it looks like now we're going to get potentially CM Punk versus Cody Rhodes at SummerSlam.
Yeah, when they had that, there was that promo on SmackDown last week between Jay, Cody, and Sammy, and then Adam Pearce comes out and announces his number one contenders, and the title will be defended on Raw. Yeah, you could the stars, you just knew what was gonna go down. And it turns out, like what you were saying, is it was all part of the plan anyway. CM Punk coming back, with through the garage shot. He was looking great too, like looking really good physically. Obviously he's had a lot of time off since WrestleMania, and he's used that to just rehab, recover, and just improve. And he looks solid, man. I really do think that this current run of CM Punk, is better than his 2011 initial Summer of Punk run, which is funny to say because it looks like we're getting that round two, 2026 Summer of Punk. The match itself was great. Yeah, I want to talk about how people felt online about this, and I'm keen to hear what you think as well. A lot of people saying, or feeling disrespected rather on Sammy's behalf about how he's been working so well and working so hard for 20 plus years, and you give him a 9-day reign. I'll be honest with you, man. He could still say he's champion, and I'll say I don't know if you could do a 9-day reign with anyone else. I don't think it's like Sammy is the perfect 9-day reign champion, and that's not me saying that Sammy's ass and he doesn't deserve a long reign. But I just think his character, and especially the role he's playing now, and what we've seen the last few months, it was perfect for him to only hold it for 9 days. Because imagine what it's gonna, what happens now, like his promos from now on, and his stance and his character work, heading into SummerSlam.
Yeah, I think like the most important thing here is that he got there. Like he
Yeah.
chased this for so long. He got there. So like no one's gonna remember how long the reign was. Like if we look at Kane when he became WWE champion, no one remembers how long that reign was, and that wasn't very long either. I think it was a day or two.
I think it'll be the opposite, man. Like everyone will remember Sami Zayn as the 9-day champion. Like, and that works. That's great too.
Maybe, but I think from here Sami Zayn becomes a babyface. I think
Really?
you're going to see. I think you're going to see people getting behind him now. Let's remember the only reason he went heel was because he was in a story with Trick Williams, and they liked Trick Williams more. So that just sent him down like this heel path. I think now that he has this story behind him, I think it actually pushes him back to being a babyface.
Okay. Interesting. I don't see it going that way. I think he will just continue to spiral, and maybe we see a more aggressive side to Sammy that we haven't seen in some time. He's kind of alluded with his promos. It's like passive aggressive promos, and the way he was talking about Cody, he's like, I could come out here and I could say you guys suck, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that because I'm a good guy. Like, I think he's just gonna lean more into that. But But it does beg the question. Obviously now that Punk is the champion, Cody Rhodes was taken out by Gunther, who said he had stakes in a rematch and it should have been him. Where does this leave Cody, Gunther, and Sammy, and I guess CM Punk from now on? Because you're already calling a Cody CM Punk match at SummerSlam, but surely Gunther and Sammy have some to say until then.
I think so, but I think it looks like we're getting Nick Aldis in the ring against Gunther.
You reckon it's happening? You reckon they're going to pull the trigger?
Well, everything that happened on Raw makes me believe that that's happening now. The numerous calls to Aldis being a failed wrestler. This is all signs leading to a Nick Aldis in-ring match, and I think it's against Gunther.
I don't know if I'm interested in seeing him wrestle. Are you interested in that?
I'm not, but I know that it's something that they could do. Like I've seen, there's been things I've been less interested in that have actually gotten pretty big spots on PLEs. So I wouldn't be surprised if this is the next one.
Yeah, look, if I am a betting man, I would bet that we get a number one contenders match between Cody, Gunther, and Sammy. Maybe it happens at Saturday night's main event, which is next week. Damn, that's next week. The Garden show is next week, so I would believe that that's what we get. We get maybe a triple threat to see who faces Punk at SummerSlam. But man, CM Punk being back is good news. He's looking great. Crowds still love him. He can still go. It's crazy now that, I saw a nice little edit because the last time we saw him was at the Raw after Mania, and his last line was, "You never know when a title match is going to fall out of the sky," and here we are, they planted the seeds back then, and now we're seeing it grow. Yeah, really good stuff overall. I was a fan of this one. And that wasn't the only title change that we saw on Monday Night Raw. I mean, if Sammy was champion for 9 days, the Street Profits were champions for what, 14? 2 weeks or something like that, right?
2 weeks. It's probably 2-3 weeks, yeah.
Yeah.
Wasn't a fan of this one either. I thought we were done with the vision. I thought we were well and truly done with the vision, and it's still here. Dude. I don't know why, but
yes.
Yeah.
Amen. We were literally singing Ding Dong, the vision is dead last week. And here we are, back at it again. They came through, they snuck through the door one last time, but looking a little bit different now. The Vision, they defeat Street Profits to win the titles with a little bit of help from Maxine Dupree, who low blows Angelo Dawkins to set up Austin Theory for the win. And then a little bit of a smooch fest going on between Theory and Maxine. Didn't expect it. Was I surprised? Absolutely. Was I shocked? Absolutely. Was Tony Free jealous?
No, I was sad more than anything.
Just testing you. I was just testing you.
This woman was married 6 months ago, and her husband works in the same company.
Yeah. Well, yeah. When you think about it like that, you're kind of going, "Oh, okay, then. All right." They love doing that. Hey, they love getting married wrestlers getting into online storylines.
It's Liv Dom 2.0, like same kind of thing.
They love doing that for some reason.
The setup's the same.
Look, I will say that they look great as a couple. I'll give them that. Like them, just Theory and Maxine, they look great. As for the other two, Logan Paul and Braun Breaker, enough. Okay, like I see where they're going with this. Paul Heyman kind of showing a little bit of tough love, but more so kind of motivation, being like, well, you bought yourself some time, but now I'm not really in yet. Like, just I want to know what the end goal is. Where does this go? Right? What are we meant to be expecting with this? Because I don't really know just right now.
I don't think they know. The way they've booked things in the last 3-4 months shows me they don't know either. Yeah, it's a shame, isn't it? Like it's gonna take up way too much time as well, which is the sad part over the next few months. And I'm sure there's a million other things that would be more interesting rather than that happening.
Yeah, and I feel bad for the Street Profits too. I was gassing them up on this show. I said, "Wow, they look good." I really feel like I can believe this run. I can believe them as a tag team. And now we're just back to the status quo where it's hot potato with the tag titles and the Street Profits. Yeah, man, a lot of questions about this, a lot of unanswered questions. I just don't. Look, let's just move on. I feel like we do this every week. It's every damn week with these guys, man.
Yeah, it's like that, and yeah, it's tiring.
Yeah,
we just need to stop it. Honestly, just take them off. Offer them pay cuts so they can reject them and go elsewhere. Honestly, at this point, that's what I'd rather prefer.
Yeah, just new storylines, new blood. I guess like the difference is, Bron Breakker's looking. It's looking like he's like just trying to do whatever it takes to have Paul Heyman's support or Paul Heyman's attention. I guess the storyline there is he doesn't back himself and he needs someone like a Paul Heyman with that knowledge and with that, history to get him to a title opportunity. But yeah, I don't see it. I don't see it, mate. So then maybe we just move on. Hey, let's talk about something else. Let's talk about Seth Rollins and LA Knight. Seth Rollins starts Monday Night Raw after his that segment last week with Roman Reigns where he lays down the challenge. That amazing promo. He comes back and opens up Raw. LA Knight gets involved. He interrupts Seth. I want to hear your thoughts on this, Tony. What did you think of this opening segment?
This was great. This was honestly unreal. This is one of the best promos from LA Knight that you'll ever see. This was
really
it hit every note. It was exactly what I needed. And well, I like the fact that LA Knight was speaking some truths here. It wasn't just all kayfabe. Some of the stuff he was saying about them using numbers to keep him down, things like that. These are all true, and I guess LA Knight speaking on the fact that Seth and Roman have kind of been hogging the main event picture for so long now. That too, like you can 100% agree with him on that. That stopped people like him who have been on the way up, and that just keeps a ceiling on people like that. 100%, I agree with that. But like all of this, knowing that Seth, I'd say, would win the championship at SummerSlam, saying that he would give LA Knight a shot, he'd give him the first shot when that happens, gives me hope that LA Knight actually might be winning Money in the Bank this year.
Really? Wow. All right. Look, I'm glad that you got your thoughts out of the way. Because I'll be honest with you, man. This was ass. This whole segment was ass. As soon as Seth came out, I'll tell you why.
What was there to hate?
I'll tell you. Seth comes out, and I'm watching this live. I've got it on the TV, and I'm sitting there, whatever. And he starts yapping. Makes brings back what they spoke about last week with Roman and what he's going to do. And it felt like this man was rambling and there was like no end goal. He starts talking about kids in the crowd, starts asking kids their age. How old are you? How old are you? Yeah, I was like you. I'm like, what are we talking about here? I lost the interest from I was not locked in, not interested at all. Then LA Knight comes out. Okay, all right, cool. Sweet. Let's get him out of here. LA Knight comes out. He kind of stumbles on his words a little bit, which he does. But my thing with him is that when he stumbles on these words, I'm checked out. I'm honestly checked out when he messes. It's not like a big mess up, but he says something the wrong way, and I'm like, oh, for God's sakes. And it's the same thing that we've been hearing, what he's been saying to Jimmy Uso and all that stuff. And what you said before about Roman and Seth hogging the spotlight, him bringing that up. Brother, that to me, it made him sound like a bitch. I said, what, you're complaining? Complaining again, LA Knight? Go, you know what I mean? Go get it. Go get it. You know what I mean? Shut up. Stop complaining.
he referenced all of the bloodline vortex and the MFT vortex, things that like we've been saying for the last 50 weeks.
Oh yeah, 100%. But man, like I just don't like. He's been complaining for ages, man. You know, in kayfabe, I'm talking in kayfabe, right? Like the storyline, he comes at it every week, and he just talks about the bloodline, brother, ooh, na 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 na. I'm like, okay, man. Like we know, we've seen it. We watched the show. We've seen this. What do you want us to do about it? Like, what do you want me to do about this? I can't do anything. It's up to you. You're supposed to do the things. I was not a fan. I was so checked out of this whole segment. And it dragged, man. It just went on for ages. I was not loving this, man. I'm sorry, Tony Free. That was my thoughts on this.
I was a fan. I will agree though. The Seth part when he was by himself in the ring probably dragged a little bit and kind of rambled. But when LA Knight came out, it was perfect for me.
So you think LA Knight, it's setting up like the faith is still alive with you and LA Knight, Tony?
I think at the moment I'm a 50-50 between Sammy and LA Knight winning that money in the bank at the moment.
Really? Okay. I just don't know, man. Yeah, look, I like LA Knight, but I just don't know if he's really made that jump to that main event tier with Roman, with Cody, with Punk, you know, and all those guys. I just don't know if he's up there yet, man. Like, give him the IC belt. You know, just let him like hold that mid card division for a little bit.
What do you mean? He had the US Championship a couple of times.
Yeah, but the US is not the IC belt, right?
Who is holding the Intercontinental Championship? Actually, that's what I said the other night. That's what I said. Who's even holding the Intercontinental Championship movie? Because there's nothing happening in that scene. So I don't know if giving him that belt would solve anything.
I just think he could do much better holding that. You know, I would say the United States belt is. Nah, I won't say it. I was about to say something crazy, but I just think that LA Knight is not there yet. Like, I don't think he is. Obviously, he's doing great. He's over. He's over, right? We love seeing him on TV. We love his lines, the catchphrases. He's selling merch. He's good in ring. Like, but I just don't know if he's got that like other thing that Roman Reigns has. I just don't think it's there yet. So, still, jury's out for me on LA Knight. But we do see some more stuff going on. And back into the Bloodline Vortex with Jimmy Uso. At the end of that segment, he super kicks LA Knight, and then he gets got again by Jacob Fatu in the car park. He's still got that thing with Solo Sikoa. See, like, get him in that tag team already. Like, let him and Solo win the tag belts immediately. And maybe that's what they're planning for, taking it off the Vision. What do you think?
Wait, do they? No, they don't. They've got different. Oh, it depends.
Because they're both on. Well, LA Knight's on Raw, and then Solo's on SmackDown.
Yeah, see, that's
right?
the thing. Like, do they go SmackDown or do they go Raw? I don't know yet.
I think you take it off the Vision. You get these guys over and just do the damn thing. Well, you look. Speaking of the IC title, a gauntlet match was announced for Raw next week to determine the number one contender for Penta's championship. It is Ethan Page, Dragon Lee, Rusev, Dominic Mysterio, Chad Gable, Joe Hendry, and Javon Evans in a gauntlet match. I mean, those names, look, unfortunately, the other thing is I think LA Knight is above those names. So I think he's just like in a weird middle ground where he's not good enough to be there, but he's too good to be there. But anyways, this gauntlet match. What are your thoughts, and what are your thoughts on Penta's reign currently?
Yeah, I'm not excited at all. Like, since Penta's won the belt, haven't really had any of those like big moments. Like, I couldn't really tell you who he's defended against. I probably could because it's always the same guys, but like,
Yes.
There's not like a match that stands
It's like
out.
half
There's no moments.
this match.
Yeah, exactly. They just rotate every couple of weeks. So it's not exciting, and I kind of forgot that the Intercontinental Championship even existed when I was thinking about it on Monday. So I think funny thing here is Chad Gable will win this. I can already see it now.
Yeah, I think of all the names, I mean, you could do guess a Javon, maybe a Joe Hendry. I don't think he could do a Dominic Mysterio, but Chad Gable, and especially his second win that he's gotten in the last few weeks, it makes sense for it to be him. I do just want to shout out though, Rusev's promos as of late have been fantastic. I have been loving seeing him show a way more funny side and not as serious side, because that's where he excels. All right. One of my favorite lines that happened on Raw was when he told Dragon Lee to learn English. I was cracking up. I was pissing myself. I said, this is the guy. And then there was another one during the commercial. and Byron Saxton, it's Rusev and Ethan Page, and Byron Saxton asks him about the gauntlet match. And Rusev just takes over, and he's just like, a gauntlet match, you start with one guy, and then another guy comes in. And then if that guy beats that guy, the next person comes in. And I'm going to win. I'm going to beat everyone in that match, and I'm going to continue to beat everyone. Like, he just, explained the whole match, and I was like, this is the guy. Give it to him. I'm here. I'm locked in. Right.
I missed that because I watched Raw on delay, so I missed all these little commercial things.
That's annoying,
But that's where Rusev's been doing a lot of these interviews. I didn't really pick up on it till Crown Jewel last year in Perth, or the Raw after Crown Jewel, where he had I think it was, I can't remember who it was either Jackie or Kathy, and he just goes crazy, Bruno rips his shirt off. And but then I've seen little clips. He's been doing this pretty much every week, but it's always in these commercial breaks that I miss.
Seriously, no, he's making the most of these commercial promos, but also the backstage promos too. He is just give him the belt. Rusev Day might be back. If the Summer of Punk is running back, we might as well run back Rusev Day, man. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and maybe I'll try and find a link for you, Tony Free. It was great stuff, really good stuff. We also had Sol Ruka defend her Intercontinental Championship against Raquel Rodriguez, which she successfully retained, with a little bit of help from the number one contender to Liv Morgan's World Heavyweight Championship, Io Sky. What did you think of this?
Yeah, I kind of zoned out a little bit during this match, but I expected Sol Ruka to win, and I guess Io getting involved was always going to happen as well. So I don't know what they're doing with Sol now, with the IC Championship. I can't really see. Surely the Judgment Day can't go back to trying to get a IC title match again. And but I expect Sol to have a match at SummerSlam. I just don't know who it's going to be against now. And I think we're kind of missing, so if we look at the last few IC title reigns, they've been pretty big, at least heated rivalries. And we haven't really got to that stage yet with Sol. So I'm wondering who might pop up. I know Becky hasn't been around for a little bit, so maybe she comes in and they heat that up leading into SummerSlam. But I think Sol just needs something a little bit gritty at the moment. That's lasts longer than 1 or 2 weeks.
I would think that that Liv Morgan would instruct Roxanne Perez to go after it. If Raquel couldn't get the job done, we still need to bring gold back to the IC to the clubhouse. Roxanne, you go. I think those two, I think match-wise it'll be great. The storyline's kind of already there. I don't know whether that's a SummerSlam match or if that's a Saturday Night's Main Event match or maybe it's a Raw in the lead-up. But my mind just goes immediately to Roxanne Perez and, maybe we get a further, descent between the Judgment Day girlies. And, who was I thinking of just then? Well, there's Bailey and Lyra. They're still doing video promos. We haven't seen them on TV since Lyra. I was going to say
they went on Raw this week.
No, it was just video. It was just a video package from Bailey. So I mean, those are two other names that are potentially they could easily crack open into. But yeah, I don't know. I don't really know about the Sol Ruka. She's doing great, but yeah, there's nothing really much there to talk about, huh?
No, it's weird. But I'm hoping now that I think this Raw was probably a big shift towards hey, we're lining up for SummerSlam now. So hopefully in the next 1 to 2 weeks, all these other storylines start to fall into place too.
Yeah. I just remembered as well. I mean, unless you have anything that I may have missed, but Trick Williams and Carmelo Hayes have a rematch for the United States Championship. Bit of much of the same with these mid card belts. They're just recycling. It's musical chairs at this point. Don't
Yeah,
really,
it's kind of.
yeah,
I zoned out. It's one of those ones again where I just kind of zoned out when I was watching SmackDown because I'm like, well, we've seen it already. Like, I was really anticipating these two to line up against each other like months ago when when Trick first came onto the main roster. But now that like we've been going on this merry-go-round with Ricky Starks, Mello, trying to get Trick, I'm tired of it already. So yeah, it's just one of those, another one of these mid card belts where I'm kind of waiting for things to spice up. And
yeah.
like they can't drag this to SummerSlam, can they? I hope not.
I sure hope not. Triple threat galore. We might be getting it at SummerSlam. Anything else, TF, that I may have missed?
I can't think of anything. And like now that I'm running my mind back through the last week, like obviously the big things that happened stand out. But yeah, I guess the rest of it was just all filler and nothing really to write home about.
Yeah, it was a bit like that. You know what I just remembered was at the taking it to the FIFA World Cup, the Mexico England game. What about
Oh,
El Grande Americano getting shown on TV?
I popped when I saw that.
Pop. Yeah, absolutely. I said, "Oh my God, I know
I wonder
him."
if those producers understand the lore behind El Grande Americano. They just think, oh, this is just a Mexican fan
Yeah,
in his lucha mask. They
I
have
think it's
no
that.
idea.
I don't think they have any clue who that was. They just saw, hey, it's a Rey Mysterio mask. Let's get that guy. Little do they know that is the heart and soul of Mexico right now, El Grande Americano. And I tell you what,
And he's
that
not
team
even
needed
Mexican.
him, and he's not even. And yeah, they didn't even know that part either. If they don't know who this guy is, they don't understand the lore. Yeah, when I saw that, I was like, hey, that's what I know him. I watch him on TV sometimes.
There's been
Um,
a few cameos in the World Cup coverage. I think Liv Morgan had one as well
really?
in one of the group stage matches. Yeah, there's been a few.
Wow. Speaking of wrestlers in the wild, I also just remembered Roman Reigns was at Michael Rubin's white party that he holds every 4th of
And
July.
there's a lot of stories coming out about that. I was like, oh, I don't know if it's cool to have a white party anymore, considering what Diddy's just been accused of. But anyway,
Hey man, you don't know with like the people those that are involved in those parties, and Michael Rubin as well. That's a pay bracket that I don't think I'll ever see in my entire life.
shout out to Tobey Maguire and Ice Spice.
Wow. Yeah, what about that? Spidey doing the damn
Coming to see
thing.
Spider-Man this month. Spider-Man's coming out this month. I'm excited
Spider-Man's
about
coming out this month. I saw there was a trailer
that was free publicity right there.
Yes, absolutely. There's a trailer for June 3. I haven't seen the other two, but I'm going to make it my job to watch them all before the third one comes out. Have you seen them?
Which one? Sorry, the last couple.
June.
Oh no, not June. No. I didn't. Was it? Wait,
Okay.
is it out now or is it out soon?
No, they
Sorry,
just dropped the
missed.
trailer for June 3 today.
Ah, the trailer.
So I've got to watch 1 and 2.
No, I don't think I've watched June. I don't think I've watched either June movie.
You're not a fan of Timothy Chalamet?
Actually, I'm not. I'm
Whoa,
very tired
what
of
the
Timothy
hell?
Chalamet, and I have to say this: the New York Knicks winning the NBA championship was the final nail in the coffin for me. Look, Mighty Supreme. That was the turning point for me.
Like,
It was the most overhyped, overrated movie of all time.
really?
Yeah, I am not a Timothy Chalamet guy, and that's all thanks to Mighty Supreme.
Wow. You didn't like that?
No, hated it.
And what about the Knicks thing stuff? Really solidified that.
Oh, I was just getting constant shots every 40 seconds of him in the front row, and then social media is just, oh, Timothy Chalamet is celebrating with Knicks fans. No shit.
So what you're saying is he is Taylor Swift for males. He's the Taylor Swift male equivalent.
He might be even more oversaturated than Taylor Swift
Oh,
is.
really?
At
It's
least,
up there.
at least for the last 3 months.
Interesting. Wow. I did not know this about you,
Surprised I
TF.
I'm surprised I didn't see videos of Timothy Chalamet at Taylor Swift's wedding last week either. I'm sure that'll start getting around soon.
Yeah, well, I mean, well, there's really been no footage of any of that. Do you reckon Jeff Jarrett was invited to that wedding?
I'd love to see who the guest list was. I don't know. I feel like
Do you know about that Jeff Jarrett
if it's
law?
yeah, I have, but I feel like if it was at MSG, it's surely big enough to, have a very big guest list, which would include Jeff Jarrett.
You would hope so, right? I mean, what other wrestler do you think would have made? Talk about a tangent. What other wrestler do you reckon would have made the guest list at Taylor
Hey,
Swift and Travis Kelce's wedding?
I I feel like there would have been a few because obviously Jason Kelsey would have been there. He's got some WWE ties there, so I think there would have been,
You're right.
at least one or two.
Cody Rhodes? Maybe.
Nah, maybe not. Maybe not
Oh,
him.
really? Okay. Okay, fair enough. And also, sorry, going back to the Timothy Chalamet, just last thing. So you say, what about his appearance on Cody Rhodes' podcast? That didn't move you
I didn't watch it because
Did you didn't see
don't
anything
need to
about it? You
see.
see any clips?
I did, but I don't need to see any more Timothy Chalamet, so I did not need to sit down and watch that podcast.
Okay, all right. I won't poke you anymore. There it is. Now, and what other wrestling podcasts are you going to get that kind of analysis? Only on Grups and Yaps. Shout out to Tony Free. Let's move on to the next segment, which is a returning segment. Queensland or New South Wales? We're back to the stories at Graps and Yaps. We asked you guys, are these wrestlers from Queensland or New South Wales? Obviously, we talked about State of Origin just before Game 3 to the decider. New South in your damn that part. So we got a list of wrestlers here. I'm gonna rattle them off, and I would love to get your thoughts on this, Tony Free, before I tell you how the people saw it. So let's start with our first wrestler, the new WWE champion, CM Punk. Is he from Queensland or New South Wales?
He is 100% New South Wales. There'd be no way that CM Punk would be caught being one of those racist far right Queenslanders. That's for sure.
I have to agree with you, and majority did say New South Wales. Do you want to say maybe where exactly in New South Wales?
I was going to say somewhere maybe like mid North Coast, but then I think no, it's probably a bit too country for him. I don't think he's like a hippie, as so to speak. Maybe like he might be a Canberra guy actually.
Canberra's not a bad shout, actually. I was going to say Central Coast, but I don't hate Canberra for CM Punk. The C in CM Punk stands for Canberra. You'll love this as well. Tom
Canberra made Punk.
replied to our story. He said CM Punk is from Wollongong. Tony Free, as the mayor of Wollongong, what are your thoughts?
Shout out Tom. Great guy.
Wow. There it is. Well done. Let's move on to our next set of wrestlers.
CM Punk.
Okay. Settle down, mate. Settle down. The Bella Twins. Queensland or New South Wales?
They're Gold Coasters. Queensland, 100%.
Mate, you know what? The followers of Graphs and Yaps, the fans of Graphs and Yaps agree with you. Majority saying Queensland. I disagree. I think the Bella Twins are from New South Wales. Sans Susie. They're from the Shire. They're like rich. They're like one of those rich Shire folk. That's what the Bellas are from.
I don't know, man.
I think nothing. What about Bella Twins say Queensland?
Breast enhancement surgery.
Oh, give it a rest. You've never seen fake boobies in New South Wales?
Just big Gold Coast vibes, big like Miami to Broadbeach walk vibes. That's what it's giving.
The analysis is great. Let's move on to Jeff Hardy then. New South Wales or Queensland, Tony Free?
Well, I think he'd be a New South Wales guy, but it has to be like he'd be like a Mullumbimby kind of guy, or what's that spot up near Byron? Nimbin. Yeah, Nimbin, like those areas.
What,
one of those like really hippie. Yeah, out there. Yeah.
I'm saying New South Wales, but I'm going the other way. He's from like Penrith or like he's from like Greater Western Sydney, like some
He's too
random
white to be from
forest.
Western Sydney.
No, he is like a true like bogan Western Sydney. You know, very experimental with his hairstyles and his color schemes and the way he dresses. He's one of those ones from Western Sydney. But unfortunately, the people that have spoken, they say he is from majority of them saying he's from Queensland. Unfortunately, I don't agree with that one. Yeah. Shout out to Brody Hug saying he's actually from Adelaide, which kind of checks out, I guess. This one was an interesting one. The Boogeyman, Queensland or New South Wales?
Boogeyman would be from far north Queensland, I think.
Far north Queensland, is it? Okay. I you know what? I don't really know where to go on this one, but you'll love this. This one was split. Half of the people saying he's from New South Wales, the other half saying he's from Tasmania. Not even an option. But it was enough for people to go, yeah, he's from Tassie.
I just think, the Boogeyman, he could play his club footy up with the Cowboys, and I don't think he'd look out of place.
Yeah, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, he does strike me as a Queenslander a little bit. They probably worms up there too, to be honest. So let's move on to LA Knight, the megastar, someone that we have spoken about today already, someone that I said does not interest me at all. What do you think, Tony Free? This is big from you too, by the way, because you're as a strong LA Knight fan. This is heavy. Where do you see LA Knight? Queensland or New South Wales?
I think LA Knight's giving Gold Coast vibes as well, so he's definitely a Queenslander.
Hey, Brody agrees with you. He said specifically Gold Coast, and it's the easiest Gold Coast. I don't know. I don't think that he is Gold Coast. I think he's born in New South Wales, maybe grew up in Queensland, but has come back at his older age to be closer to home, closer with his family. He strikes me as like a West boy, or maybe maybe Manly.
No, I could just see LA Knight, posting his, on his fitness Instagram, posting, his workout stories from World Gym in Burleigh at 5 a.m. every morning, before he, goes to his tanning salon. And does his bodybuilding contests every weekend. So he's screaming Gold Coast to me.
What do you reckon he gets for breakfast at a cafe? He goes out for breakfast. What do you reckon is his order?
Egg whites, no yolk, black coffee, so long black, no bread because he can't, he doesn't want to have those carbs all the time. So, just a plate of greens and egg whites, no yolk.
That is so boring. I reckon he drinks like Stone and Wood though. You know what I mean? He's like, I think that would be his drink of choice at the pub as well.
I reckon he's a great Northern guy, so he's just or a 4X.
No way. Okay. Look, we could do a whole episode on where LA Knight is from and his analysis as an Australian, but we got one more left to go. Save the best till last. The voice of WWE, Michael Cole. Queensland or New South Wales?
He'd have to be a Sydney boy. He'd have to be New South Wales, New South Welshman, Michael Cole. I don't feel like Queensland produces any good commentators. For instance, when I think about it, Rabs, Ray Warren, New South Wales. Gus Gould, if you want to throw him in there too, New South Wales. Fatty Vaughan's a Queenslander, isn't he?
He's a Queenslander,
yeah. Well, he's not a good commentator, so I'm not going to put him in that bracket. But
no Fatty slander on this show. Thank you very much. But I think he is an easy New South Wales.
He's kind of like a Sterlo.
What? In what way?
Funny enough, though, he just like that older statesman. Really, high footy, lot of game IQ. He's always zoned in, understands the psychology of things. But funnily enough, Sterlo born in Toowoomba, Queensland, and then grew up in Wagga Wagga, New South Wales. So he could be one of those. Wow. Born in Queensland, raised in New South Wales.
You pulled that out of nowhere, Tony Free. Wow, that's some elite ball knowledge. I think, yeah, Michael Cole isn't easy New South Wales. He strikes me as someone that lives in the Hills District, like Seven Hills or maybe a Castle Hill, maybe even closer to Penrith ways. That is Michael Cole to a T. He lives in Penrith, but he goes for like the Dragons or something. Like he's one of those
He's a
weird
Rudy
ones.
Hill guy.
Yeah, I'd accept it. And then, I'm sorry, I know this wasn't part of the list, but if Michael Cole's New South Wales, then Jim Rolls is an easy Queenslander, right?
Oh, 100% with his cowboy hat as well. Him and Bob
fantastic.
Catter.
Yeah, there is a bit of Bob Catter about him. All right, look, now we're getting on a tangent. We're getting too locked in on this chat. We got to get out of here. If you've made it this far, if you've managed to sit through not only everything that's happened, all the recap, but also this analysis of whether Michael Cole or LA Knight are from New South Wales or Queensland, or the Timothy Chalamet of it all, or the boldness of it all. Hey, you are a real one. We appreciate you. Make sure you check it out on YouTube. The video will be up there. Tell a mate as well. If you know a fellow Mark, let them know about @Grabs and Yaps on all social media. Tony Free, what you got on cooking for the next week?
Good question. I actually don't know at this stage, but I was just looking earlier this morning. PWA is bringing a show to Wollongong in September down there at the Needers Theatre in Thirroul. So I think there might be the next excursion for the grappers and yappers out there.
Huge!
Come down to Wollongong. I'll give you guys the keys of the city to enjoy for the weekend. But yeah, September 26th, I think it was. PWA at Needers Theatre in Thirroul.
You got to be their tour guide, Tony Free. Where do you take the PWA crew when they touch down in Wollongong?
Mate, awesome part of the world up there. So Thirroul, so your northern suburbs of Wollongong, very coastal. You got the highway right next to the ocean there. So Austin Mere, Stanmore Park. You got the nice Seacliff Bridge.
Here we go.
In between the mountains and the sea. Awesome part of the world.
Ay. Let's get out of here before it gets even worse. Tony Free, appreciate your time today, and I'll see you next week.
We'll see you then.